The 1% Club is the best club that you could ever be a part of. Once you join the 1% Club, you don't have to join any other person's program, course, mentorship. We give you everything you need in the 1% Club.
True keeping God first is what's done in the dark.
Yeah.
What's done behind scenes, the stuff nobody really sees.
Like one of our first clients, he's signing a deal. We were just talking about this to buy some truck stops, and he's spending cash money on like $141 million.
We talk about manifestation. We talk about faith. We talk about all of the things that we stand on. Those are our pillars in our company. And then we started talking about just being on doing a podcast tour and just talking about the 1% Club. And then we were talking about we had said we were gonna wait for $1 million worth of game. We never said we weren't gonna go on there.
And at this time, we didn't even know how we was gonna get there.
Yeah, we didn't know how we was gonna get on there.
We talking we just gonna wait on $1 million worth of game.
Yeah,
we didn't know the first part of the content.
And it came in 30 days. It came. Wow.
My friends, welcome back to the Smokey Mirror Podcast, where we dive deep into the creative minds that are shaping our culture and inspiring us all. My name is Jordan Jones, your host and fellow creator, and I'm on a mission to share knowledge and inspiration to help people like you leave your mark on the world. From artists to entrepreneurs to musicians and more, join us as we explore the intentional act of creation and the forces that drive us to do God's work. Today, I'm back with Coach Damont, friend of the show. You'll remember him from the 1% Club, but he's also got his co-founders with him today, Tyree and Tedric. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, brother.
So this was actually a last-minute episode. Coach Damont just hit me up and we made it happen. So I'm honestly really excited for this episode. I'm really interested because we never really got into how you really like came up with the 1% Club. So now it's only fitting that you came back with your partners.
Yes, I think it's the right time and the right place. So thanks for having us here.
For sure. And since we've left, you guys have been making some waves. I saw Gilly and Wallow joined the 1% Club. I saw y'all doing big numbers on social media. Talk about like the recent success.
Well, I tap into the foundation of our success.
Sure.
Me and him had a conversation about this yesterday actually. Yeah. And we have been putting God first in a lot of things we do. And it's not even at the level where we should, to be transparent. But that's the foundation. So God, to us, is the conversation was like God is showing his hand, and when we put him first a little bit. So it's like we need to get to that point where we put him first even more so he can really show what he really has for us. So we contribute that success to basically just, putting God first and let him do what he do. It'd be great.
And it just reinforces that you're on the right path doing what you're supposed to do.
That's correct.
That's nice.
Encouragement to keep going.
All right, so let's talk about like the founding of 1% Club, because I'm trying to figure out like who started it, where did it come from?
Well, we all started it. It was a conversation that we had at, I think we were sitting down at lunch, and we just pretty much came together. We were friends first. They'll tell you their story, how they met, but they were in business first. And then I was subletting a office from them in Houston. Why I moved to Houston, I have no idea. I can't tell you. I just know that God, as he said, we put God first. I just know that God told me I need to be in Houston because I love Miami and I love LA. So I moved to Houston, and I had texted him. I said, man, if you see anybody that has an office available, can you let me know? Because I just knew I wanted to be in Houston because everybody else in my industry was in Atlanta. So I felt like Houston was a great opportunity, Then he sent me a video of the office space. A few months later, I moved in, and probably like 30 days after that, we sat down and we figured out how we could come together, and that's where the 1% Club was birthed.
Wow. That's awesome. Sometimes you never know, like, how you meet people. Like, what are the chances of that happening, right?
So it wasn't initially for us to become business partners. I think it was divine because I've never had this type of partnership with anybody else. Yeah. And most people, are scared of partnerships because they feel like, somebody's gonna steal, somebody's not gonna be honest or something. Because we've seen so many so many partnerships dissolve, even that started as friendships. So I didn't fear that because I felt like that I trusted both of them, again, because I've seen their integrity through our friendship. They shown up for me when they didn't have to as a friend, so that meant a lot to me. So for me to partner with them was definitely an honor. We brought things to the table that each other didn't have. My strength was not marketing. I've made millions of dollars in my industry, but it's been on word of mouth and referrals. I don't understand marketing. He has a great way of dealing with people. That's not my strength. My strength is teaching. My strength is coaching. My strength is understanding whatever I'm doing. But my strength, he could talk to somebody and make them feel like amazing. Like he could fire. We talk about all the time. He could fire somebody and they walk out the room and they feel like they could conquer the world. I can't do that. So we all bring to the table different skill sets, and that's been a blessing because you can only go so far by yourself. Right. And for the last 5 years, I felt like I've went as far as I can go by myself. Now I feel like I could go. I'm in the marathon. Like I could go a whole lot further because I got them to. So that's been a blessing.
That's powerful. So when y'all having conversations, when was it like, you know what, we need to make something that people can be a part of? Like how did that?
Well, they should tell you their background because they had the biggest credit repair company.
Okay, so now it's making sense.
When we all merged together, it kind of made sense that I had learned trust, which we offer in the 1% club. They had mastered credit, and then we merged and funding, and we merged all of those resources together to create the 1% club. So they could tell you that background.
Yeah. So Tedric and Tyree, like, how did y'all get connected?
So I met Tyree in a refinery. He was working in a plant. First time I met him was in Wyoming, Rollins, Wyoming. He was working in a plant called Sinclair. That was probably back in 2013? 13, 14. So we met each other in passing, but we didn't really get close until we worked a job together in Corpus Christi. And at that time, he was actually buying his first home. And he had just got a collection removed from his credit report. At this time, I didn't really know too much about credit, but I was intrigued about it. So once we ended up parting ways, because I ended up working for another company in the oil field, and he stayed with the company we was currently with and took a job in Louisiana. And I used to call him every day and be like, hey, man, I really like this credit thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to repair my own credit, my wife's credit. And we actually started working out our work trucks on different job sites. We ended up starting a company called Kingdom Wealth Credit Repair. And we had, like, one of our first clients that we had right now, he's signing a deal. We were just talking about this to buy some truck stops, and he's spending cash money on like $141 million.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was our first client, which is one of my best friends. And
that's a great testimony.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was one of the first guys that trusted us to do his credit, and it just went on for them, man. Like, I just had a passion for credit because it changed my life and it did everything for me and changed my family's life, and we just came together and created that company. And then later on, my wife, she ended up quitting the post office and coming on to help us with Kingdom Wealth Credit Repair. And my wife used to be like, I didn't quit to work for you or Tyree. I want my own. I want to create my own name. So she, creating an LLC called SCDE Credit Consultants. So it was the abbreviations of my mom that had passed and her mom that had passed. And once that happened, I think, how long it took? I think I started doing funding. Yeah, so him and my wife, they mostly was on the credit repair thing, and I started doing funding. So I probably made about $400,000-$500,000 just doing funding. Wow. So after that happened, I hit him up with an idea. I'm like, hey man, let's open up a credit repair office. And at that time, he didn't know how much money I had made or what I had going on that end. He was just like, how much is it gonna cost? I'm like, probably about $100,000. So he was kind of like, man, you think it's gonna work? But glory to God, and all our prayers, he answered them, and we ended up having one of the biggest credit repair companies.
Wow.
In Texas, you know what I'm saying? So that's how me and him met, and that's how we got started. And we just always was good friends. We never argued. We might have different opinions about stuff, but we understand each other more about him than I understand a family member. And it's the same thing with Damont. You know, he told us one thing one time that always stuck with us. He said, when you understand a person, you're never surprised at what you get from them. You know what I'm saying?
I've never heard that. That's
so when you understand somebody and you know who they are, you know, you're not surprised at what you get. So.
Yeah, that's their character.
Yeah, so we all offer different things. I do marketing. He's great with people. He's an amazing coach and a teacher. So we just all come together. We don't have any pride. You know, we don't try to overstep on, step on each other and our strengths and, and things like that. So that's what it takes to be a great partnership to come together to make things work, especially being African-American black men.
Yeah, and that's an important point for other people that's interested in partnering, understanding that we have lanes and to respect the lane. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, everybody want to be in a certain spot, which is the light. But the light is not for everybody. And in order for you to partner, you have to understand, where you need to be.
I think that's a really important point because I think conflict management is something that we need to work on in our community. How do you guys go about navigating that in a 3-man like business relationship? Like if somebody's, like disagreements on ideas or maybe initiatives and things like that, how do you guys navigate that?
It's crazy because me and him just had a conversation about that last week. I was just telling him, I say, man, I found myself, ain't nobody perfect. You know what I'm saying? Me and Damont never had this conversation. Our first time him hearing it. But I had told Tyree, he had called me the other night, we was on the phone talking, I told him, I say, I found myself being argumentative with both of my business partners about certain things because of what else I had going on. Right?
Like other things in your personal life.
Knowing they might be right on some stuff, but I'm just trying to make myself right. Right? And so I had prayed to God about it. I'm like, God, like, I know it's wrong, but what do I do about it? He basically told me, and I don't know if you remember this.
I remember.
He remember. We was actually in the podcast studio, and I was sitting on a couch, and you kept on saying, we was trying to agree on something, and you kept on saying, Tedric, man, I want your opinion. And I was like, y'all can handle it. I'm gonna let y'all two take care of it. And I know you value my opinion, but you was looking like, well, damn, I want you to say something, but God had told me and put on my heart, it's okay to let somebody else carry the load. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a learning experience because it's not nobody in this world that could say that I don't have no pride in my body.
Right.
Everybody got some kind of pride. So but when you turn to God and you ask him for advice and he give it to you, you just gotta listen.
No, that's true.
So I had just explained that to him the other night. So a lot of stuff now don't be argumentative over. After we left Philly and we was in that room, I asked God, I said, man, I'm tripping.
I told him, I said, I don't know what happened in Philly when we went to go shoot the $1 million worth of game. I said something in the air because his responses was so different. But that show you the power of God. God said, if you seek, you'll find. You knock. So he seek for an answer for the argument of spirit that he was having.
Right.
And God gave it to him like that. So, and I saw it, and I don't know if you remember me saying.
He kept on saying, it's up in the air. How you get so patient all right?
Some in the water? Like, what's going on? So, that's great. I think, we really, if are honest about yourself, like let that come in, because it's like a voice, right? Like you kind of know it, but also you have to know and take the time to want to make that introspection.
Right.
That's powerful.
You got to know your strengths, man.
So the credit, all right, great. We got that popping. Now we get Coach Damont. Where does the 1% Club come to fruition? Like,
we got to talk about how we met this guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you want to explain how we met?
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I don't remember.
So I seen him on Instagram. I've been doing credit since I was like 21 years old. So since 2001. All right, started doing credit on the side, just fixing people's credit so that they can get approved for my houses. 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07. You could get approved for 6, 7, 10 houses at a time with a 580 credit score.
That sounds insane. Like, what?
That's back then before the housing market
For the
crashed.
market crash,
That's
right?
crazy.
So one of my people could get. That's why I sold 100 houses,
Right.
because one person could get. I had people in my family that got 10 houses. Like my aunt, I had 15 houses in her name. So there were times when I had to learn credit to be able to get things off people's credit. So it just started like small like that, and then from there on, it just people started referring me. Then I moved to LA. So I was living in LA, and I seen him on Instagram, and he had promoted that he could do this.
I can remove collections from TransUnion in 24
from
hours.
TransUnion in 24 hours. If you're watching this and you have a credit repair company, you know that credit repair changes all the time. The same way I did credit in 2000 is not the same way we do credit now. It's not the same way we did credit in 2015.
The consumer laws change.
The laws change. The credit bureaus get on to certain letters and different methods. So you always have to stay perfecting your craft, especially if you want to get results.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll give you the game." He told me the amount, and I sent it to him. And from then on, we've
Built a
talked.
relationship.
That day we talked for hours. Like I talked to him for hours. I remember the day we talked. We talked for hours and hours. And then for the first time, they came out to Rod Wave was in
Rod
LA.
Wave had just became a client of
Yeah.
ours.
So they came out to LA. So that's
Dope.
when I met Tyree, and we met for the first time. And then from then on, Tyree's been like my brother. So I think again back to Tyree's beginning statement, putting God first. I knew the call that God had on my life. We talked about this the other day, even with the 1% Club. Like the 1% Club is not just about people getting rich. It's not just about people having great credit. It's not just about people having a trust and having asset protection. The 1% has pieces of each one of our hearts, and it has pieces of each one of our hearts for people to understand that you can be anything. If he tells you deep into his story, he doesn't have a college degree, but the things that he's acquired and the things that he has taught himself, he's self-taught. He's one of the most smartest people I've ever met in my life.
And I got a 6th grade education.
On paper, but
Yeah.
it's incredible what discipline and just pure willpower can do.
And is a self-made millionaire and has helped thousands of people just because he decided, I'm gonna take a skill set and I'm gonna teach myself, and I'm gonna learn the laws. I'm gonna learn the all the statutes. I'm gonna build great relationships and partnerships. Like, to me, that's commendable. And I had never seen a partnership like ours. Like I haven't seen people, because most time when you see people in partnerships or in groups, it's always arguing. Like, we don't have that. No. If I come and I say, hey man, I think we ought to do such a, we vote on it, or if he say it, we vote on it. If it's not time, it's not time. Typically we figure out a way how to do it, and that's why the first 90 days of 1% Club was exceptionally well, because we were all on one accord. We were in alignment.
I love that. I really love what y'all are doing, because especially as like a young man, to see like I can look up to y'all and emulate that. Like that's something I want to be a part of too. It's kind of like y'all are acting as like much needed mentors. Like in our community, we need people to look to for real advice, real knowledge you can trust. Especially around like things like money. Like that's the most important thing that runs society. We have to be knowledgeable about it. So y'all are doing a great thing. I just want to give y'all flowers for that.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And especially you, Tedric, like these guys have nothing but great things to say. Like that's a testament to your character and your work ethic. So
The only thing you got in this world is your name. I'm not saying you're never gonna be perfect, but God knows your heart, man. You gotta have a good heart to make it anywhere in this world.
that's true. When y'all talk about keeping God first, what does that look like in a day-to-day or even like an operational sense or decision making? Like if somebody wants to maybe benchmark where it's like, well, I think I keep God first, but let's see what do they think when they say they keeping God first. How would y'all kind of explain that?
We pray as a company.
We do pray as a company, but I believe true keeping God first is what's done in the dark.
Yeah.
what's done behind scenes, the stuff nobody really sees, right? So that's that waking up in the morning and discipline.
Yeah.
That commitment, that consistency of knowing that my relationship with the man is important enough for me to wake up every day, just like working out. I may not feel like it, but I want the results.
Yep.
I may not feel like praying. I may not feel like reading the word, but I want the results of having a great relationship with God, right? And when you put him first, he becomes your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a different feeling. Like, I know God's voice so well because I spend so much time with him.
Mm-hmm.
I know his voice. I know his voice. You could put me in a room with 50 different men. And when he's speaking, I'm going to know their voice. Why? Because I spend time with him a lot, right? God, if I spend time with him every day, when he speaks to me, I know that's his voice.
Yeah.
So it gives me an ability to put him first
Because
because I can hear myself and then I can hear God, right? And
That's
God,
powerful.
a lot of things, there's two things that I do when I put God first and when I hear his voice. I look for peace, because if God tells me something, there shouldn't be no confusion in it.
Mm-hmm.
It should be peaceful. And I look for it to line up with his word. Okay? But if I don't spend time in his word, how am I know it's his word?
That's right.
I don't know his character, so how am I know it's him? But that's why I know when I could put him first, because when I hear him, we listen to it, right? So I just encourage people to spend that one-on-one time, and then the one-on-one time reflects as a company.
Yeah.
Because we come together, we fast together, we juice together, and we can spend time praying together. After every meeting, we pray together as a company, right? And like I was talking about earlier about, we know that we can put God first even more, meaning it's some decisions we made without even asking God. Some places we went without even asking God.
Mm-hmm.
We just did it because we thought it was right.
Right.
Right? Not saying we made the wrong decision, but we didn't include him. And I told Tedric this the other day on the phone. I said, we've been treating God like a side piece and not the main thing.
But it take a hell of a group of men to know that.
Yeah, to just be conscious of that
Right.
and want to improve and get better.
Yeah.
I think that discipline is something that you have to have a factor outside of just how you feel to drive your behavior. Like, you have to be able to
I
make
think
yourself.
discipline is the key to.
Because everybody want money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they chase. They chase money. They chase fame. They chase success. But if you look at every billionaire, all of them got one thing in common. All of them have structure. They ain't at the club popping bottles. Right?
Nah,
Ain't
not,
one billionaire that you see at the club popping bottles. Not one.
not one.
And they had the same. And even though they're a billionaire, they can go buy anything they want. They choose to get up every morning, go run 3-4 miles,
Yep.
They have a routine.
spend their time with God. You know what I'm saying? To get their prayers in, work out, go to their office, go eat lunch, go home. And they do that every single day. And they plan out their vacations when they going here, when they going there. You know, so for people that want to be successful, the blueprint is right in front of you, but a lot of people want to make their own blueprint.
It's already written.
It's already written. You can't make your own blueprint on how to be successful.
They want to take shortcuts.
I want to tell you shortcuts. Everybody wants shortcuts. Everybody want to be rich overnight. Everybody want to be what everybody else is.
And I'll say they do have some success stories where people get overnight success, but to sustain it,
Right.
you got to
Yeah.
adopt the blueprint,
Yeah.
right? So that's the thing. The blueprint is still important.
And you're gonna have to retire your ego, because especially when you say, which I meet a lot of people and they're like, I've been doing this business for a long time. I've been working this 9 to 5 for a long time. I've been doing all these things for a long time, but I'm not happy with the results. So if you're not happy with the results, then you have to go back and look at the ingredients, right? So when I looked at my ingredients, as I just told you, is I've had great. I'm gonna say I've had good results. I've had good results for a one-man show. I've had good results. There were some decisions that I made. If I had Tyree around, I wouldn't have dealt with certain people,
Right.
Because those people set me back 5 years, you know, because I trusted them and they were my family and I believed in them. Like, he don't move like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's some ingredients that I had where if I had proper marketing and systems, I would have learned faster, you know. So when somebody said something about mentors, and I think we all honestly, we're business partners, but I think we all are each other's mentor, honestly, because we all teach each other the things that we have strength in. I've never seen a group of men like us because normally you have egos.
Yeah.
We was on $1 million worth of game. We was in the meeting. I remember it, and Wallow said, he was looking at Tedric, and he said, yeah, and I've been researching you guys, and I really like the 1% Club, and we want to join, and blah, blah, blah. And he said, you're the face. And most men would have been felt like this. I didn't feel like that because I felt I'm confident with my role.
Yeah.
I'm confident with him he's confident with him being the face. If people believe this is his business and his company, we're confident with it because we know that we all are in alignment and we all want to change families. We have one goal. To help 100,000 families. We're in alignment with that. So if people look at 1% Club and they say he's the face, or they look at it next week and they say he's the face, or they look at it and they see me at the conference talking and they say I'm the face, it doesn't matter to us because we have no ego. Right. You see what I'm saying? But most people be like, oh, people think this is Tedric's company. I need to be making this. We don't argue over that type of stuff because our mission is the same.
Yeah. So what Wallow said, he said, between him and Gilly, he say, Gilly go score 60 like Jordan every day, and I grab a rebound, and I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
you got to know your position.
That was a strong statement.
Yeah,
that's real.
You got to know your position.
They got a lot of point guards trying to be centers and centers trying to be point guards. If it ain't for you, it ain't for you. You don't know how to handle the rock, and you don't know how to pass it out and be a leader. Then you need to, you know what I'm saying?
But when you study Fortune 500 companies and you study the top companies in this world, they go buy smaller companies. They go connect with other companies. They go partner with other companies. Yeah. They go get CEOs from other big companies.
They go get speakers.
Yeah, they know they know that they have went
Apple has a speaker
as far as they can go by themselves.
Yeah. And people will look at the speaker and be like, the speaker own the company. Everybody think the Geico is owned by the lizard.
The lizard.
Right. That's what when you think of Geico,
that's what you think of.
Yeah, they think the black lady on Popeyes own Popeyes.
Oh yeah. What's the man name that be on Allstate that talk real smooth?
The basketball dude,
the actor.
Yeah.
No, that's true because people just see it, they associate it with it. It's easy for them. Boom.
Yeah.
It takes a mature outlook and no ego.
But the owners of Allstate not mad. Trust me.
Oh, they're not mad.
But there are people that relate better to him. There are people that relate better to him, and there are people that relate better to me. So the benefit that we have with our mission of helping 100,000 families is that we can pretty much target anybody from any background, from any walk of life. So that's what I'm most excited about with the 1% Club.
That's real diversity when you can offer that, having diverse perspectives.
And you can show unity.
Yeah,
that's what I like about it. Yeah, unity. Like most people that have companies or they have these programs or they're coaches or they have these courses. It's just them.
Right.
You're not gonna see them working with other people. I think what we represent is unity.
We show trust, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we trust each other, and we operate in high integrity. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when other people come and they see the relationship that we build as three men, I mean, why would you not trust us?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we show we trust each other. So,
that's good.
It's just like somebody told me, I think it was like 3-4 weeks ago. Somebody tried to come after me on Instagram, social media, and say you can't. A lion don't worry about what an ant doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gonna happen, and that's a true statement. So you can't trust. Like for instance, I understand that the role of being a leader is you got to be able to show that you're doing things. Because I can't tell you I can go get you $100,000 if I ain't got myself $100,000.
Right.
I can't tell you can get an 800 credit score if I ain't never had an 800 credit score. I can't teach you how to buy a house.
There's a lot of people out there doing it though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't teach you how to go. People say, "Oh, I want a G-Wagon." I'm gonna show you how to get a G-Wagon if I can't go get one.
Right. Can't.
You see what I'm saying? And it's a lot of people out there misleading people. And I know that's the difference in what we offer is we done been there and we done done that.
Mm-hmm.
We done bought multiple houses. Between us three, we Shit, it's a lot, right? We bought multiple houses, multiple cars. We didn't had jury. We didn't did everything we can using leveraging credit. You know what I'm saying? So,
and we have failed.
And when
you find a coach or a mentor that has failed, that expedites your process 20, 30 years. Because the stuff that we teach our employees, the stuff that we teach our team, the stuff that we teach our family, the stuff we teach in the 1% Club is based upon what we failed in. You know, we could tell you what not to do.
Right.
We could tell you this is the strategy for this. We could tell you to go to this bank and do this. We could tell you this is the structure that you should have because we failed. And we have worked with thousands of people. So when you've done, that's thousands of case studies. When you have companies right now, like information is what they're buying.
Right.
You know, Facebook is a data company. They're buying data.
Yeah.
Instagram data.
Yeah.
So they
can sell it. They can sell it.
Yeah,
data
they sell it,
anybody.
and that's how they know what we like. That's how they know what we.
So they can do ads. So they can sell ads. Yeah.
Right. Let's think about this. Say if you started a company, right, and you go to a place like name some popular restaurants.
Like
Steak 48.
Prime 112.
Prime 112, Steak 48, Mastro's, and say you go to these different restaurants. You say, hey, we want to buy your book of business. We want to buy your contact list. Everybody that ever reserved a seat to come sit here, we want to buy their phone numbers, names, and emails.
That's valuable.
It's very valuable.
Yeah.
It's a great marketing tool for anybody that want to start any kind of company.
Yeah. That's their primary business model.
Yeah, primary business model. If you can't contact people, you can't start a business.
At all. Oh, that's powerful. So talk to me about the podcast, because I see the studio going up. I know y'all just now getting started. Like, talk to me about that. What's going on with that?
So basically, it's really just for us to get, like you said, in the community, it's a lack of, right? We have a lot of lack of, and especially coming to financial space. So it's trying to get us to not just talk about the information, but also implement the information. But the podcast is to let them know we know it,
right?
But we also can help you do it,
broadcast it,
right? So this is our commercial, right? This is our commercial for teaching people about the things that the 1% of the world have been doing, which is using trust to, accumulate wealth, protect wealth, and save on taxes, the whole 9 yards. So that's what the platform is for. It's like us really wanting to educate our community. And some people going to sign up with the 1% Club. Some people just going to gain knowledge. But either way, we're happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole idea, is to touch people.
And consistency is the key to anything.
Absolutely.
Even with your podcast, it don't matter if you got 10 people watching. If you're giving enough valuable information, those 10 people going to go tell 10 more people. Them 10 people going to tell 10 more people. But if you just give up and stop because you don't feel like you're reaching enough people, then what you started it for.
Right. And I took a break when I first started. I started this in November 2021. And I'm coming up on posting my 50th episode. I've recorded more than that so far, but the way I've been posting, I'm coming up on 50, and it's kind of like a little milestone because I came a long way from being on my laptop with a webcam to being in the studio, like getting reels, getting 1 million views. Like, you know what I'm saying? It feels good. Yeah. And that consistency really is.
It's the key to everything.
It's the key. And you don't even have to make it perfect. Just make it, have some progress, just get it done and keep going. Like, when I didn't sweat the small stuff, when I just got it done and I said, you know what, this is the best I could do, that episode, let me just focus on next week. And instead of getting bogged down, I started to enjoy it more, and I could see the quality just improve.
Can I tell you a quick story about our studio?
Yeah.
So we have been talking about it for a while. And normally, when we talk about something, it doesn't go 14 days. If we talk about it, we normally execute it right away. So we were talking about it, and he's
delegator.
So he's a delegator. But I was trying to keep the finances, to a minimum because we had just launched the 1% Club. We spent a substantial amount in advertisement. We have, employees and those type of things. Right. So I didn't want to have a big budget for the studio. Yeah. So we had a smaller entry entrance area to one of our offices. It kind of looked like a store, and then it had a couch, and it had this 1% sign. So I was like, I had gotten our assistant. I was like, I think this would be a great place where we could start the podcast next week, because he kept saying, we need to start the podcast. We need to start the podcast. I think it's gonna be big.
Yeah.
So so he happened to be walking down the hallway in the office. He was like, what are y'all whispering about? So I was like, I'll tell you later, because with him, you have to. If you tell him, you got to be willing to be ready right then, because he's gonna be like, we went to visit a venue where we were gonna do our grand opening for the 1% Club. He was gonna tear out the ceilings, tear out the walls, and add 2 more levels and all that. So I already knew that's what it was gonna be.
Yeah.
So I showed him. I was like, man, look, we could do the podcast right in here. We'll all have seats and we can have the camera people. He was like, nah, let me take you somewhere else. So he took us into our sales office where we had cubicles where our sales team was. He was like, I think we should do it right here. In 7 days, it was built out. In 7 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a great testament, because when you partners, he could have easily said, damn, you shitting on my idea.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't feel that way. He seen the vision, and we came together and we made it work.
Yeah, I think that's what it takes to reach the place you want to go. To really touch that many people, you got to be egoless.
Yeah, you have to.
100%.
That's awesome. Wow. Yeah. Have you guys? I don't want to know. I don't know if y'all posted it or not, but I do like guests and things y'all have planned, like maybe content. Like, give us a sneak peek on any of that.
We got a nice lineup.
Okay,
nice lineup.
Okay,
we all have our different relationships with influencers, people in the world.
That's what I was saying. Like, I'm already knowing.
So
but
yeah, we got a lot of different people, a lot of artists for sure. I know we have in the lineup, and we just want to continue. I know he has a lot of people that's kind of in our space or close to our space. So we got a nice lineup. We hopefully to be getting a lot more episodes dropping soon.
That's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. So what was it like being on $1 Million Worth of Game? How was that?
It was cool. It was a humbling experience.
Great
Because you see people on Instagram, and most of the time people are animated, and but those guys are exactly who they are in real life.
Yeah,
on social media.
Well, let's back all the way up to the end of last year. So we talk about God, we talk about manifestation, we talk about faith, we talk about all of the things that we stand on. Those are our pillars in our company. So we were talking about it. Actually, it was New Year's Day outside his house. He put on a big production with fireworks and all of that. And we were in the middle of the street talking about the top podcasts. Mm-hmm. And then we started talking about just doing a podcast tour and just talking about the 1% Club. Mm-hmm. And then we were talking about, we had said we were going to wait for $1 Million Worth of Game. We never said we weren't going to go on there.
And at this time, we didn't even know how we was going to get there.
Yeah, we didn't know how we was going to get on there.
We talking we just gonna wait on $1 Million Worth of Game.
Yeah,
we didn't know the first person to contact.
And it came in 30 days. It came.
Wow.
And he was somewhere, and one of his clients, his mentees, FaceTime him with Wallo on the screen.
Right? And he didn't even know who he was.
Gilly on
He's like, who is this?
Yeah. And then later on, and he had the same experience, and then we just, within a week, we was on the show.
Wow.
So that lets you know, which I feel, when people say, oh, they doing all that talking, or they doing, you can literally talk yourself into a great experience. Like, that's manifestation. That's faith. We really believed it would happen. Mm-hmm. We didn't know when, we didn't know how, but we knew that the door would open. There's a whole lot of other doors that we get to walk through.
In the Bible, it states it.
Yeah.
Your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
The power of life and death is in your tongue.
It's in power of tongue. Yes. And a lot of people take that as if life or death, because that's the only thing they hear. But that's not exactly what that scripture means.
Yeah.
I mean, you can manifest stuff into your life. All you got to do is to speak it into existence.
So if you're watching this, I don't care who thinks you're crazy. I don't think who thinks your faith is crazy. Keep speaking it.
Yep.
Keep speaking my family's going to be debt free. Keep speaking I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family. Keep speaking I'm going to change the narrative for my kids and they not going to grow up the same way I grew up. Keep speaking I'm going to be the first person to own a house in my family or land. Or I think you got some real estate recently, right?
Yeah, I recently purchased a home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Already in Pembroke Pines.
We're gonna give you a
26.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Love to
Appreciate
hear.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that message, man. Like, there's just so much in the world where I think like people need to be able to believe that they have the agency to create what they want in life. You know, like God said He made us in His image. That don't mean we look just like Him.
Right.
We're creators like He creates. Like we got to be creating things the same way.
He spoke the world into existence.
Yeah, exactly. And so we need to speak our world into
Exactly.
existence. Be conscious of the words that we're
spoke
saying.
the whole world to
That's true.
existence.
That's
Spoke the literally, like literally.
So the only thing I like to input on that, because I do know in our world now that speaking things into existence can make some people self-righteous.
That's
Okay,
true.
and they eliminate God because they feel like I did it. I spoke this. Okay, so
That's a good point.
we not saying to forget God.
That's
That's where the
Right. The whole idea is for you to realize that I'm speaking and I'm moving on faith. But anytime you operate on faith, God has to move. It's a promise.
right
Right. It's not saying that I just talked it up. Now, granted, you got to put a little work in sometimes.
actions.
Faith in the work, right? Without of it is dead. But it's not to create you to think that you're God. Right. You always got it. You can get the praise. You got to give Him the glory.
At the end of the day, that's where you getting the power to do it. Like that's where it's coming from. Like you got to be in tune and connected. And that's why I liked how you said you were really doing it like every day, having a relationship. Because a lot of times I think people they're not used to hearing it, so they miss out on opportunities or times when that voice inside is urging them to do something and they don't do it because they're not in tune. They haven't been listening.
Correct.
And then they don't know when to trust it. They just
I told when we were talking the other day, we was talking about putting God first, but it was like it's more. We have been moving 100 miles an hour lately, and it's been more. I feel like we've been ashamed of God because of the world. The world only care about money and success and all these different things. So we've been pushing to give people that.
Yep.
You know, and so it's almost like God told me. I called and told him, I said, man, God just told me we're ashamed of Him.
That's what He called. He told me.
Yeah. I said, he feel like we're ashamed of Him because
And I resonated with
people don't want to,
too.
because people don't want to hear it. So I don't want to, to speak it because I want to give people what they need, what I think they want to hear, so I can get what I need.
Because it's like you feel like this will make it's for the brand, the product, like it's more palatable. If
I think it was
Sometimes
intentional.
It wasn't
It
intentional.
wasn't intentional.
but I know that's
but it happens.
yeah, it happens
It
because
wasn't intentional.
one thing that's something I think about because it's like when you live in a society like ours, you have to think about how you're marketing things and how it'll be received. But then it's like this playing in the rules of the game that we're in that can't get in front of like you know what I'm saying. Like we got to prioritize that,
Right.
You know, so it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is most definitely.
That's interesting. Well, we coming up on time, so I would love to hear like where can we keep up with y'all? Like if people haven't tapped in, like where should they get started following y'all? All that.
Oh, with me, they can follow me on my personal page is Tedric the GOAT, or at the company page is Club 1_%. For Tyree is I'm introducing for all y'all.
Go for
Nice.
it.
Tyree
We
is
still gotta
gonna
talk
be
about
fresh as
one more
blessed.
thing.
Bet.
What the 1% Club is.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll let you do that.
No,
Delegate.
We got Fresh as Blessed
Fresh as
on
Blessed.
Instagram,
Fresh as blessed.
and then we got Coach Damont.
Yep.
You know, so and then y'all can also contact us on the company page. All three of us, we logged in. Sometimes we dip in and out. We'll get back to people. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So what is the 1% Club, Coach Damont?
the 1% Club is the best club that you could ever be a part of. Once you join the 1% Club, you don't have to join any other person's program, course, mentorship. We give you everything you need in the 1% Club. The 1% Club, we do teach financial literacy, but we also help you achieve actionable steps. So most people say, hey, this is what you need to do. We actually help you do it. If we say, hey, this is how you get a 700 or 800 credit score, we're gonna give you the steps and the team to help you do it. If a person says, "Oh, I'm gonna give you this course to show you how to get business credit," we actually help you build business credit. We mentor and help people get funding. Most people say, "Oh, these are the banks you need to go to." We show you and do the banking for you, right? We help you get funding.
Yeah.
Most people say, "Oh, you protect your assets by getting a will or by having these certain things in place, or you need a family trust." We actually help you build your family trust. Start it. Get an EIN. Get a bank account. Learn how to use it. Even Michael Jackson, at his height, he didn't never fund his family trust.
That's crazy.
So he died and still had to go. His family had to go through probate.
Court, yeah.
So we actually help give you actionable steps, which is coaching and mentorship in the 1% Club. That's why I say you don't have to join nobody else's program once you join the 1% Club.
And what I think is amazing about our club that a lot of people don't know, so we actually have Multi-Millions University. My brother here, he the one, it was his idea. It was an amazing idea because we know that when people tap in, people like, I want to deal with Tedric, I want to deal with Tyree, I want to deal with Damont. They want to deal with us personally.
Yeah.
Right? So one day Damont came, he said, "Hey, I want to do a university and like a college, basically, when people join the 1% Club." So listen, for $997, you get a trust. You also get access to Multi-Millions University where you can learn how to do car stacking, where you can learn how to build business credit, where you can learn how to get your credit score where it need to be. You can learn how to get a credit pool list so you can see what banks pull what and what criteria the banks are using, and what they're offering. So I believe in what we're offering people in the 1% Club for $997 to join. It's amazing. You're not going to get that kind of value anywhere else.
We haven't even touched on debt deletion. So that's you taking your trust. We transfer the debt over to your trust, and the debt is erased. So no other credit repair company out there, not even Lexington Law, no pun intended, but no other credit repair company out there does debt deletion.
Yeah, we getting great results, amazing results as we speak.
Yeah, we got some crazy case studies. We about to be dropping something.
Yeah, they just had a young guy just came to the office the other day and he wanted to shoot a podcast with his salesman because everything got removed from his credit.
Everything.
He was just so excited, And to be honest, he wanted to meet Damont. He wanted to meet me that same day, and he just wanted to let us know how much it changed his life because he was actually transferring over from living his life wild, to transferring over to the other side. So a lot of times, man, we try to gravitate to certain people to help people, but you don't know who you helping.
You don't know who's watching.
You're helping to change anybody's life, by opening up your mouth and speaking.
Yeah.
So that's what we look forward to. We look forward to changing 100,000 families. More than that, to be honest with you, for the next couple of years and keeping this thing going and passing it down from generation to generation. So
I love that.
So we looking forward to you being a member of the 1% Club.
Me too.
We looking forward to you putting your house in your family trust and introducing this family trust to your family so that in 7 generations, your family is still going on like the Rockefellers and the Trumps.
they're going to say my great grandfather.
That's 150 years. None of us
still be saying your name.
No, you know what, Coach Damont,
in 150 years, none of us will be around.
Yeah.
In 150 years.
But
I will be.
You gonna be
150 years, I'll be 187 years old.
he's still alive.
I'm going to be kicking you.
But our legacy will.
Our legacy,
and the structure that we build today will, if we have one.
No, and ever since you came on, that definitely did change my perspective on my entire life because I was thinking like, yeah, this first house is cool. Like, I don't even want to give this to my kid. I want to give it to my grandkid. And I want like 10 years, like 10 generations.
Exactly.
Why not? Like, why can't they remember who I was and in that lineage? Like, have pride in your bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Like, work
The
for
only
something.
way they'll know your name in 7 generations is if you leave them something.
Yep, I love it.
That's the only way.
That's it.
Only way.
Guys, I really appreciate y'all's time. Thanks for making this
appreciate you for
happen.
having
This is a
us.
big
Thank you.
opportunity for me. I appreciate connecting with y'all brothers. This has been great. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, man.
brother.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
For
you.
sure. We're just going to take a picture.